But we do begin tonight with the fight for justice in the Epstein case. CBS News correspondent Natalie has more.
For so many years, it felt like Epstein's criminal behavior was an open secret.
One by one, women who say they were victimized and abused by Jeffrey Epstein shared their stories, some for the first time publicly.
I was one of dozens of girls that I personally know who were forced into Jeffrey's mansion.
The survivor stood alongside Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky and Democratic Representative Ro Khanna of California, who are trying to force a vote requiring that the Justice Department turn over all files related to the case within 30 days. House Democrats, along with a handful of Republicans, are supporting the effort, including Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We are going to fight like hell for these women because we have to fight like hell for those that are enduring sexual abuse and are living in a prison of shame.
President Trump, who was friends with Epstein before a falling out, once again called the push for more information a Democrat hoax.
Thousands of pages of documents have been given, but it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
This is not a hoax. We are real human beings.
The House Oversight Committee, which had subpoenaed the DOJ for Epstein records on Tuesday, released more than 33,000 pages it's obtained so far. But Congressman Khanna says that's just a fraction of what's in the files, and most of what they've received has already been made public. Natalie, CBS News, the White House.
CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us now. And Caitlin, thanks for being with us. What did lawmakers take away from these meetings with these accusers?
Well, Nancy, this whole case has become a real political football throughout the country, but especially up here on Capitol Hill between Democrats and Republicans. It's really been mired in partisan politics. And what we saw today was what it should be focused on, which is the victims of this awful, tragic sex trafficking case. And so we saw many of those victims have a press conference earlier today, and they were flanked by some members of Congress who have been calling for more transparency around this, a bipartisan push, I should note. And we also saw private meetings between the Speaker of the House and some of these victims and other members of Congress as well. And talking to lawmakers, they are very deeply affected by the testimonials they have been hearing from these victims, the true stories and what they have been through. And that's really at the heart of this matter. But this is also a matter of politics. And up here on Capitol Hill, it has become something that Republican leadership had hoped would kind of die down over the recess. And it turns out that, in fact, the call for more transparency, for the release of more documents, the focus on this issue only intensified.
And Caitlin, we also know that some lawmakers want to force a vote on releasing more of these files. How likely, though, is that to happen?
Well, as of now, Nancy, actually not that likely. I'll walk you through what's been happening over the past 24 hours. So yesterday, Thomas Massie, a Republican from Kentucky, and Ro Khanna, a Democrat from California, teamed up together to work on getting enough signatures for a discharge petition. Basically, what that is up here on Capitol Hill is a way for, if you gather enough signatures, a majority, 218 signatures, you can force a vote on anything on the House floor. Usually that's determined by the Speaker of the House, but if you are successful with getting enough signatures for a discharge petition, you can put it to the floor yourself. And so that's what they were trying to do. However, last night, the House Oversight Committee released 33,000 pages of documents that they had subpoenaed the Department of Justice for, got them, released them, and now Republican leadership up here hopes that that is something that will, quell the calls from some Republicans for more transparency around this. And we've already seen that taking effect. Some Republicans who were inclined to support that discharge petition are no longer going to support it because they believe that the Oversight Committee is the place to be doing this work. And Nancy, earlier today, the House voted on a rule, not to get too deep in the weeds on procedure here, but they essentially voted to allow the House Oversight Committee to continue its investigation. So for now, House leadership feels like they've kind of poured cold water on this discharge petition attempt. A lot of Democrats supporting it. They needed a handful of Republicans, couldn't get there. And now this will remain likely in the jurisdiction of the Oversight Committee. We'll see whether that does anything to, calm this down, or whether, in fact, it continues to have momentum.
All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much.